If you are planning to buy a car in 2026, this video will make your decision easier. Petrol, diesel or EV? By the end of this video, you will know which one to choose. Dad asked me this question. I thought the answer would be simple, but it wasn't. I did my research and this video is all about that. In this video, we'll quickly break down petrol, diesel, EV. At the end of the video, I'll be telling you which one makes most sense for your needs. So let's start with petrol. Petrol cars feel smoother, quieter and easier to live with. They also have simple mechanics which makes them easier to maintain while comparing to diesel. Petrol is still the most common choice for car buyers, but one thing is changing, that is E20. E20 means 20% ethanol mixed with petrol. Because of this, the mileage may drop in few vehicles, but it's better for the emissions point of view. So if your usage is mostly city driving, you want a simple low maintenance car, petrol is a great option for you. Let's move to diesel. Diesel makes sense for the people who go on long trips regularly and need stronger pulling power. Diesel engines are known for their high torque, which gives them more power at lower speed. If you're driving a lot every year, diesel can save your money by giving better mileage. But like everything, diesel cars comes with their own challenges. Usually, diesel engines need to have more maintenance compared to petrol ones. Because diesel engine is more complex and they have additional parts for emission control like DPF. That also means repairs can get more expensive. There is also emission issues. While diesel engines are fuel efficient, they emit more nitrogen oxides compared to petrol ones. Due to this, restrictions on diesel vehicles are tightening and some cities are imposing restrictions on older diesel vehicles too. But if you plan to use diesel cars for highway driving, it still makes sense. But if your driving is mostly short distances and city traffic, diesel isn't worth it. Now let's come to EVs. Unlike petrol and diesel cars, EV run on electricity. So instead of engines, you get motors. The biggest advantage of EV is its running cost. And comes the fun part, instant acceleration. The moment you press the pedal, you will feel the response immediately. That instant response is one of the biggest reasons why people love riding them. At home, it's easy and affordable, but outside, it's not so convenient. Public charging usually costs more. On other hand, recharging also takes more time compared to refueling. And there is range anxiety. Yes, EVs are improving their range, but it all depends on how much charge you left and where you are recharging again. For example, an EV can go 250 to 350 kilometers on an average on full charge, but after that you have to charge it again. So if you have home charging and you mostly do city driving, EV makes sense. If charging access is uncertain and you want to go for longer trips, you might rethink your decision. Apart from petrol, diesel and EV, you also have hybrid and CNG. They are not so common as petrol, diesel or EV, but they do solve some specific needs. A hybrid uses both fuel engine and electric motors. It improves its fuel efficiency. The good part is that it has better fuel efficiency than petrol without completely depending on charging infrastructure. But hybrids cost more upfront and usually complex compared to normal cars. On the other hand, CNG cars are cheaper to run and are cleaner than petrol and diesel. The downside is the convenience. CNG stations are usually hard to find and you also need to sacrifice some boot space as well. So hybrid and CNG is a better option, but they only scatter to some specific needs. Let's stop this theory for a while and get into practical comparison with real life examples and numbers. So we'll be starting with running cost. Average cost per kilometer of petrol is 6 to 7 rupees, whereas hybrid is 4 to 6 rupees and EV is much cheaper with 1 to 2 rupees. And the service and maintenance cost for petrol is 10 to 15k a year and hybrid is from 5 to 10k, whereas EV is much cheaper in this segment also with 3 to 7k per year. Let's compare with practical examples. We have Creta petrol on one side and Creta EV on the other side. On-road price of Creta petrol is 13 lakh, whereas on-road price of Creta EV is 19 lakh rupees. Now, considering 6 rupees as running cost per kilometer with petrol, for 5 years, average of 50 kilometers a day, it total sums up to 5.5 lakh rupees. Now, same for EV costs 1.4 lakh rupees with 1.5 rupees as average running cost per kilometer. Now, service and maintenance costs, let's take 15k a year for petrol ones, that sums up to 75,000 for 5 years. And for EV, it's 35,000. Now, summing all the costs, the petrol will be at 19.25 lakhs and the EV is at 20.75 lakhs. For 10 years, petrol goes for 25.5 lakh rupees, whereas EV goes 22.5 lakhs. There is 3 lakhs difference between petrol and EV. But the insurance on the battery for EV is only for 8 years. If you get a trouble on the 8th year, you will end up paying 5 lakh rupees more on EV. So that will cost you more 2 lakhs on EV compared to petrol. So the data says there is no much difference between petrol or EV when you compare all these ifs and buts situations. Now, after all the comparisons that we made, I have some recommendations. Choose petrol if you are mostly running in city and your yearly running is not very high, let's say under 10,000 kilometers. And also if you want easy ownership experience. Choose diesel only if you are driving long distances regularly, let's say above 15,000 kilometers a year. Choose EV if you have reliable home charging and mostly run the vehicle in cities for lowest running cost. Choose hybrid if you want more fuel efficiency than petrol or diesel and you don't want to fully depend yourself on charging. Choose CNG if running cost is what all matters for you and CNG stations are accessible. So, to choose right vehicle, ask yourself 4 things. First, how much you drive? Second, where do you drive most? Third, do you have easy charging access? And fourth, how often you go on long trips? Remember, your decision should be based on how you use the car daily. Because at the end of the day, numbers do matter, but so is the peace of mind. And by that, we reach to the end of the video. Do let me know what car you are choosing for your family in the comments. If you found out this video to be interesting and helpful, do hit the like button and subscribe to Roadsense for more such videos. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram for behind the scenes and updates. Until then, I'm Captain Akhil from Roadsense. See you all at the next stop.